It's 2:29. MotoGP is halfway, 250 races halfway over. And it's been 10 or 11 minutes of cleaning after the disassembly. You saw the disassembly. That was it. I spent 10 minutes cleaning, sorting, getting my parts ready, and now I'm going to start reassembling the various components. So this is perhaps phase 3. Disassembly is phase 1. Cleaning is phase 2. Then reassembly of the fork slider tube and its components. Here. That's right. Clean them all up. Dust bushing. Goes on first. Clip, of course. At this point, I'm going to take some electrical tape and put one wrap on the grooves and the leading edge of the fork tube so I can slide over my new fork seal. The big cup side, you up. Yeah, up. You thought I was going to forget, but I wouldn't forget. A little bit of fork oil on the new seal. Slides right over, down. Metal washer. Between the seal and the bushing. And a new lower outer bushing. Race tape. From ECS, Eastern Cycle Service in Middletown. Teflon on the inside. A little oil on it. One side is tapered a little more than the other. I'm putting the tapered side toward the top so that when it has to be driven into the stationary upper fork tube, there's a little bit of a taper, a little more of a taper, so that its split can compress and I can just tap it in very easily. Finishing off, remove the tape, protecting the sharp edges over here. Seals from the sharp edges. You must remember to protect the seals. Split ring, no biggie. Fits right on. Make sure it's snapped into place. There you go. Upper fork tube. They're inverted forks. This used to be the lower fork tube on those old bikes. Now it's all thus. Mine's gold, blingy gold. Some are silver. A little more Earl on the outside here to make the Teflon happy. Oh, I don't know how much happier Teflon can be. It's already so slippery. Well, here we go. Now, I have to drive this lower bushing with its tapered edge into the upper fork sleeve. There's a washer behind it which give me a surface to, how shall we say, pound on. This is not for the squeamish. If you had a seal driver of the proper size, I'd suggest you use that. I don't. I've got a hammer and a drift. Does go in rather easily. You don't want to cock it up in the bore. Tap evenly around. And when it finally does seat, it'll give you a different sound. A much more solid sound. As if to say, honey, I'm home. That's home. That's home. And very nice. Very nice. Little oil on the outside of the seal. Practically push that bearing, that seal, into the bore with your hands. And then gently press it in. Seating it squarely. Definitely want to have a seal punch, seal installer of the right diameter. I always try to keep one on hand. be able to see the indent where the retaining ring is going to sit. And then you know you've got the seal in all the way. Clip goes in. And you can hear that reassuring snap. Telling you you've positively located the seal clip retainer. Dust cap back in. That's nice. Take the damper bushing, not even a bushing, locator, what do they call it? It's called damper rod seat. Damper rod seat on the end of the damper rod. Damper rod bolt back in. Threads right in. The real deal is cleaning those threads. The lower damper rod bolt, spray them clean. I'm using carb cleaner. Smells great. Blue Loctite. Thread it up. torque to the proper specification. That's about it. Anybody want to go on a ride with my bike? Alright, here's my pinch bolts. Back in. Not tight. Put the wheel together. Alright. Spec. Fork oil was given to me. These are gold valve forks with single rate springs for a 200-pound rider such as myself. I'm using Racetail Ultra Slick suspension fluid, 10 weight, and I'm going to fill it. Well, first what I'm going to do is pour some in, because we've got to prime the damper and once you've primed the damper rod, I think I need more priming. More priming. I have some left over. Make sure that the damper rod is primed so that when you get your level set to the top of the upper fork tube, which in this case will be 130 millimeters. And the way we get 130 millimeters is taking my Bolt Depot Desmo gift and setting the depth at 130 millimeters. Pick yours up today. If you can't extract any fluid with the tube collapsed and nothing in it, you're not high enough. So we add fluid. It's supposed to be enough to do 2 forks in here. I guess it depends upon how far your fork travel is, how big the diameter is. Must have had something caught in there. Alright, more oil. More oil. drawing up oil, and I'll keep drawing oil till I get no more oil. Sort of sounds like your straw at the bottom of a Coca-Cola. That's all, folks. Now that I've got the proper height oil in, here's the spring spacer tube. The spring spacer tube. I hate it when parts get up and walk away. It's hiding in here, this dirty old piece of garbage. We did not clean it. That's what we do. Always have an assistant clean your stuff. Much better. Now's a good time to call back your assistant. Yo, Betty Crocker, could you come outside?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's 2:55. The second one always goes easier. You know how that is, right? Don't extend the fork tube, the upper fork tube, all the way up on the slider, because there's holes in the top of the slider, and what you're going to get is oil all over the place. Don't ask me how I know that. Try to remove as much hair as possible from the fork leg.